we started with one drug, being sorafenib, almost more than 10 years ago. And now we have approved 7 drugs total. And on top of that, they have a lot of things that are still coming even as we speak. So it's getting very busy. And as such, today, the state of the science, we are more kind of like, of course, short of saying what are the new drugs, what's the data, what's behind them. The biggest confusion and the biggest question for all of us is how to sequence those drugs. And if anything now, with the sorafenib and lenvatinib being the first line options, and in regard to second line options, regorafenib, even though it's conditional with prior sorafenib exposure, cabozantinib, ramucirumab, requiring a high alpha-fetoprotein, and in addition to that, nivolumab and pembrolizumab as checkpoint inhibitors or immunotherapy. Pembrolizumab and nivolumab have been tried as single agent, both in first line as well as second line. Nivolumab versus sorafenib in first line, and pembrolizumab versus placebo in second line. And those 2 studies were negative. You might hear people saying it one way or the other. At the end of the day, they were negative. And if anything, the new advent now is what about combinations? And this is what brings us to the combinations, for example, of atezolizumab plus bevacizumab, which, as we know, was reported already at ESMO Asia with great results, incredible improvement in survival, and great response. And we're waiting, of course, for the manuscript in that regard. Now, interestingly, despite that we have the atezo-bev, it's not the only combination, and at the same time, it's very important, at least even though we don't have the data otherwise, these combinations are not necessarily the same. The atezo plus bev is a anti-angiogenic plus the anti-PD-L1, make total sense. But on top of that, we can have very easily a TKI, like, for example, lenvatinib, plus a anti-PD-1, like, for example, pembrolizumab. And pembrolizumab plus lenvatinib already have been reported, and we're just waiting for the results of the phase 3 trial. But the third combination that we are very interested in is a combination of checkpoint inhibitor plus checkpoint inhibitor. And a good example of this is the anti-PD-L1 plus anti-CTLA4, like durvalumab plus tremelimumab, which is part of a large trial, the Himalaya study, that we're still waiting for the results of.